Welcome to the Soul Happy Success Show. Coach Rebecca here, and today we're talking all about financial planning for your business. Because if you have money shit in your personal life, it is going to show up tenfold in your business, and I do not want that for you. So, I want to give you a little bit of insight into how I transitioned from five-figure debt to five-figure months. And before we get into that, please like and subscribe. It helps so much, and it means that you don't miss any of this greatness. So, would really appreciate it. And let's dive in. Because as I said, I went from five-figure in debt to start my own business in five-figure months. So, how do you go from the sleepless nights, the no freedom, the no autonomy, the no choice, the stress, to what we all at the beginning think will be the pinnacle? There's so much out there. How to make your first five figures, and it's just kind of this shiny beacon. So, how do we go from one to the other is always the question that I get. So, I love giving gifts. I hope you like receiving them because I feel like this information is such a gift. I wish I had leaned into it before. And let's dive into the three things that really help me to financially plan for my business, that helped me along that journey to go from debt to choosing a debt free life. And as just a little extra nugget, if you're in a relationship right now, watch this together. Watch this together, send this to them. And if they have a business too, or if they're just trying to support you in yours, it's really important that you guys are speaking from the same page. So I just wanted to add that as an extra nugget because being in this journey, first of all, for myself and then with my husband, has been such an eye opener and it has deepened our relationship. I can't even tell you. So that's just like an extra bonus nugget because it's like the bow on top of the gift. And let's dive into what you can actually do because I'm aware not everyone is in a relationship, but I hope that when you come to the relationship with yourself, you can be kind about this with yourself. And you can ask yourself those questions that you would ask a partner in the future if that's what you choose to have. Equally, have 100 cats. I love that for you. Let's move on. So, one of the things that was the most important, and that's why it is number one, is looking after the money that you do have. Please do not click off the screen. Like, please do not stop this show and decide, I am not interested in hearing this because you're going to have heard this before, but I'm going to do it in a very different way. So trust me. But budgeting is important. Budgeting is important. And I know that if you are adverse to adding the budget into your life, if you will not look at your money, no one's confused why you have money shit if you won't look at it. And I understand that by looking at it, when you're in a place where you want more money, you're in debt, you have shame or guilt around money, it can bring up those emotions. But if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a coach, if you are on this personal development journey, this is a part of the process, is that you have to be able to mitigate those triggered emotions in order to have something greater. So, looking at your budget is so important. If you don't have one, it's very simple to create one. And all you're going to do when you create a budget is you're going to list all of the incomings you have, all of the outgoings, highlight what you spend your money on. So, if you want a restaurant budget, we have a restaurant budget. My husband loves to go out and eat food. We have a fun money budget. I love to have guilt free spending. We have a travel budget for different travel. So obviously we travel internationally. My family are in Scotland and we live in Texas. So we have a travel budget. So we have extra budgets built in. We have a budget for beauty, for getting our hair done. Like, we get really granular so that it means I'm not shocked when we want to go and visit my family in Scotland because we have the money there already. So budgets are so important to not just be your incomings and outgoings, it's to also be what are your outgoings over a period of time. So there's a little bit more of longevity. And I highly recommend checking out the Ramsey Network for all of their information on budgeting. It is the top tier, and that's where we learned all our information. But most people aren't motivated by that. So I'm not here to preach the budget and tell you how amazing fun money is, even though it is the best thing I've ever experienced and changed my relationship with money completely. I am here to give you what I learned. So I learned that a budget is really important. We integrated weekly budget meetings when we were in debt. They are now monthly because we are out of debt. And they have been game changing for our relationship and also for our intentionality and awareness towards our money. So highly recommend the budget. But most people aren't motivated by that. And I am here to be like motivation station, because the second thing that I learned is that you must have an outcome that you're working towards and a daily connection to what it is you want. So this is the specific thing that really helped us, because we were both on this journey, myself and my husband, of wanting to become debt free. I came into a relationship with debt. My husband is, as always, completely perfect. No, I'm kidding. He has his own flaws, but I love him, and my bias will always say that he's perfect. That is a side note. So we had to connect to this outcome. And the outcome we wanted was to be debt free. And it was so shiny to me and so exciting to me. And when we knew the statistics, 80% of the US is in debt, which means 4 in 5 people, which means when we are on a road and there are 5 cars, 4 of those cars are in debt statistically, right? So this is just like averages statistically. We don't know specifics about who's in the car, right? So when we were in debt, we were like, oh, we're the car that's in debt. It's us. We're the car. And we don't want to be the car. And this is where it shifted, is because we then started to look at the outcome of when we're out of debt, we won't be the car. We'll be the 1 in 5. We'll be the 1 in 5 that are debt free, that live a debt free life. And that was so exciting to us. Okay. So not just highlighting, oh, I want financial freedom. That's not enough. We wanted to be debt free. And now it's like we want a 6-figure year, right? So it's not highlighting just, oh, I want financial freedom and leaving it. It's having a very specific outcome and then a trigger for remembering that outcome. So for us, being in the car and being the car that doesn't have the debt feels so good. That really helped. That really, really helped me to keep with the vision. So if you have something that is resonant of that, if you want to be debt free, if you want to be the one car, like take that. But if that's not something that's motivating for you, if that's not exciting to you, right? If maybe you're in such a hole of debt, we were in a room a few months ago. We went to an event and the top amount of debt that had been paid off in the room was something like $2 million. It was insane. And it was amazing. These people had paid it off. They got to do a little debt-free scream, like we love Ramsey's Network. And it was so great. But that doesn't call to everyone, right? So I appreciate that for you, it might be something else. It might be a piece of artwork that you want, a car that you want. It might be a feeling that you want, an emotion. You want to feel safe with your money. You want to sleep well at night. Like, focus in on those outcomes when you're about to go into looking at your budget or doing the hard thing or having to say no to the girls' trip to Ibiza, because I mean, I don't know why I'd ever say no to that because it sounds amazing. But if you do have to, there are trips that we just can't go on. We just can't go on. Like our family, we have family in Colorado. We just can't go and afford to go from Texas to Aspen, Aspen to LA, LA to back to Texas just for Christmas, because we have to be in LA for the 1st of January. We are not going to do that. If you've ever seen Aspen prices, if you don't know, you can Google it. It's astronomical. We are not committed to that, no matter what. And we love our family. We are a family first household, but we are not committed to that because our budget says no. Computer says no. Okay. So we have to have the outcome that we want, because the outcome that says spending time with our family at the detriment of our budget. So this is where you have to marry the two up. Is it worth it? Is the consequence worth it if you're going to get this outcome? So if our outcome right now is a 6-figure year. So anything that takes us away from that, we are striving to say no to. It's not always perfect. It doesn't always happen. But if it's something like it would cost us probably like freaking $5,000 to go to Aspen, LA, and then back. If it's going to cost us that much, we are not going to do it. We are going to say no in line with our budget because our outcome is higher. Our outcome is the 6-figure year, right? Our outcome is, for example, we want to go to Scotland. Our outcome is Scotland. It's in our budget. We didn't put Christmas in Aspen in our budget, right? So you have to see the harmony between the budget and the outcome, but have an outcome that is so powerful that you will say no to some of the things that you want most in the world. Even if it's just like you wanted that cute purse and you didn't buy the cute purse because it's $200 and you're saving for something else. You're saving so that you can have a 6-month emergency fund so that you can leave your 9 to 5 job. Maybe that's something that you'd be a bit more excited about, right? I'm more excited about freedom than I am about a Michael Kors bag. So find what your outcome is and use that as your North Star, your shining light, your vision, your outcome, and close your eyes and visualize. And I've done so much about visualization on this channel. Please go back and watch all the things on visualization. But you can have a trigger a bit like the cars were for us. And that's going to be personal. No one else can give that to you. That has to be personal. So enjoy doing that. And I want to hear about it. Like DM me at So Happy Success. I'd love to hear how that goes and what your vision is that's pulling you, that's helping you to make those harder decisions because there's something greater pulling you. Not because you can't afford it, it's because you're choosing not to because the vision is so great. Oh, that fills my heart with so much excitement. So the third thing is about investing in your progress. This is what I learned because it has to be a part of your budget too. It has to be a part of your budget too. What is your capacity? Is it time? Do you have time capacity or do you have financial capacity? And you have to accept the consequences of whatever each of those mean. So, for example, if you're choosing to invest time instead of money and it's going to take you longer to learn something. So, for example, you want a website. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know why that's like a poor call if you're starting out in the coaching space, but like to each their own. Say you wanted a website or like a funnel, let's go for a funnel. If you're going to take the time to learn funnels, it's going to take a hot minute. You're going to create something, you're going to think it looks good. Other people might not think that. There are people that are literally trained in sales psychology and in funnels that could do this for you. It might cost $1,000, right? And then it's, $200 for your funnel service, whatever one you choose to use. So it could cost you, say it costs you $1,500. Maybe you don't have that. So you have to save the $1,000, but it's going to take more time. So you have to weigh up those investments in terms of, do I save for it and budget for it and then pay it? Or do I just make it happen now and I just have to spend the time on it? So that's something that I think we don't think about enough when it comes to financial planning, is that there's always the idea that you could do it yourself, but just know that you're taking time out of something that's income generating, and that could be a problem for you because that's when you'll stop making money as an entrepreneur. And the very simple rule of business is more money in than money out. So you just want to be super clear of that. And if you are going to invest, know how powerful that can be. So for example, the first course that I did, the first life coaching course, I finished it. There was an upsell, so there was an up level, and it was £5,000. And I just like broke my heart about this £5,000. I was like, I can't invest that much in myself. I don't know if I want to do it. Is this the right step? And I was always pulled to do it. And every time the coach spoke about it, I was like, oh God, I want nothing more than to be in that group. Like, I just know. And I just knew with my whole soul that it was right for me. If an investment feels like that, it is. You will find the money and the resources. And this is where, coaches have coaches, and we're always speaking about this. You will find the resources. We literally just did this. Myself and my husband invested in a huge mastermind with Ben Bouchard, and we really had to look at our finances and, in alignment with our budget, figure out how it was going to work. And just the week before, there was an influencer I was following, and they have copywriting course, and I really wanted to be a part of this copywriting course. And in my head, I'm like, if it's 5,000, I can like make it work. And it came out and it was 8,000. And I was just like, I cannot fathom doing this and spending this much money. As much as I wanted to do it, I didn't want it enough. I didn't want it that much. I wasn't like called in my whole soul to do it. I was just like, this would be so cool. And she seems like she's really good at what she does. So I was like, oh, I want to know. And then when I found out it was 8,000, I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not even going to broach it with my husband. We didn't even speak about it because I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And literally a week later, we invest like 3 times that amount. Yep. That is accurate. And the thing is that the money was there, but until I had a vision and an outcome that someone else had painted part of, but I had painted most of myself, that this particular investment could solve, I wasn't going to do it. So we have to have it as part of our budget. It does have to be in alignment, but remember that you can find it. There are ways. We have committed to a debt-free lifestyle, so we had to see if we had enough liquid capital, which we're fortunate we did. So we were able to invest, but that might not be your case. So you might be investing in things right now, and you might be doing all the free shit and trying to figure it out, and it's not cohesive, and you're confused, and I totally get it. But if you want to do something, decide that you're doing this investment and decide that it is going to make you so much more money. Because that first course that I did, £5,000 course that I like broke my soul over, I broke my heart over it, I really wanted to do it. I eventually pulled the trigger and I did it. And it has generated me over £65,000 so far. And it will be the catalyst for all of the money that I ever make. It's the catalyst for the six-figure year. It is the catalyst for everything because I chose to invest that money. If an investment feels like it is right for you, you will figure it out. And that's all the things I learned about money. And really the power question of today, because you want to look after the money you do have, budgets are important, right? You want to have the outcome. You want to know what the financial freedom is to you. And then you want to invest in your progress in a way that is in alignment with both. The real question is, what is financial freedom? I will take a hit to my financial freedom because actually having the choice of investing in a mastermind that makes us make more challenging choices along the way is worth it to me. That is financial freedom to me. That is a choice I have made. That is financial freedom. But financial freedom to you might be, I just want to be out of debt. It might be, I want $100,000 in my savings account. Everyone's going to be different. But the interesting thing about money is that it is not correlational to how much you have, how you feel about it. It is absolutely a choice. And if you do these things, focus on your budget, focus on the outcome, invest in what aligns with you, you'll start to feel good about money. And that's what you want. No matter how much of it you have, that's the thing. No matter how much of it you have, you'll start to feel good about it. And that's what will change your trajectory. So I hope that was useful in terms of financially planning for your business and adding in the things that you really want, like you want your professional development going forward. Power question of today, what is financial freedom to you? And I will be back here next week. I hope you join us. I'll be over here believing in you in the meantime. I know that you can do it. I hope that after today you feel so good about your money. And then we are going to continue our sessions together next week. I will see you there.